Trump, do not get the United States into war with Iran because of Israel. Do not get the United States into war with Iran over Israel. Don't get us involved. You campaigned in 2020 and 2024. You would not do this. Do not get us in.
I should have made this video a long time ago when people were talking about it, but I didn't, so I'm making it now. So when Robert Kennedy made a list of all the medications he wants to get rid of, a lot of adults were worried that they were going to lose their antidepressants and their ADHD medicines or whatever makes them able to function normally. And adults may be collateral damage, but that's not who he's going after. Medications that Robert Kennedy wants to get rid of are the ones that are not allowed in the military. Because before they helped Donald Trump get elected, they knew he was going to get us into multiple wars. He tried really hard in his first term to get us into multiple wars, but they had competent, qualified people in that administration who stopped him. They made sure that wouldn't happen this time. Remember, this administration says no DEI in the federal government. So when he gets us into these multiple wars, they don't want your daughters. They don't want your black sons, your Hispanic sons, your Asian sons. They want your healthy white boys. And they need your healthy white boys off their medications.
Gonna just say this. I will vote for Donald Trump. Y'all better be ready to fight for Donald Trump if he decide to go to war with Iran. Y'all better be the first ones at the recruiting office. I don't care if it's Air Force, Army, Marines, Navy. I don't give a good goddamn.
Escalations continue to rise in the Middle East. It is time for friends and family of active duty military to take action. Now is the time to reach out to your family members' chain of command all the way to the top at the Pentagon and tell them no war with Iran. Let them know you do not want your family member being sent.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that from wherever you my lovelies are watching this from, you are doing all right. And God has protected you and preserved you very well. Hoping you're staying safe, sound and healthy. Yes, I do appreciate those of you that keep supporting me on here, those that comment, like, share the videos that I put out here. Thank you so very much. Generous souls, thank you so very much for the super thanks and super chats. I do appreciate you as well. My members, thank you so very much as well for supporting through the membership program. I started the video differently today because I don't even know where to start from. But today we have reactions of Americans towards what Trump is about to drag America into, which is literally make America the Israel ally and take you guys to war. This video is for information and education purposes only. I hope it reaches out to you that are watching. It's gotten a lot of Americans talking, and they have quite a number of messages that we are going to be looking at in here, just like you have seen in the teaser. And Americans are not happy, right? It's a lot, my people. I'm not going to go into the politics of it for now. We have to watch the message, that serious messages that Americans have. For both Americans and for Trump. We'll come back and talk about it. Do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share it, and yeah. We'll come back and talk about this after watching.
We may be hours, if not at most days away from a war with Iran. President Trump has now privately approved the attack plans. Multiple sources confirm the U.S. military has its targets ready, strike orders drafted, and troops on standby. But the final order has not been given yet. One more aircraft carrier is still en route. 2 carrier strike groups are already in position. The moment that the 3rd ship arrives, everything could possibly change. Trump has said he wants to make the final call 1 second before it's due, but those plans are already locked in. Targets have been selected. Commanders are waiting. 40,000 plus U.S. troops are already deployed across the region. Aircraft are in the skies. Warships are in striking range. This is not a drill. Iran's leadership is on high alert. They have held emergency national security meetings and vowed not to surrender under pressure. We are likely going to be going live tonight or tomorrow to announce that the U.S. is either at war or right on the edge of it. We may have 24 to 48 hours before the strikes begin, or it could just be hours. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok and Substack for all updates and all reports.
Trump, do not get the United States into a war with Iran because of Israel. Do not get the United States into a war with Iran over Israel. Don't get us involved. You campaigned in 2020 and 2024. You would not do this. Do not get us in a war. Please let Donald Trump know if you don't want to get into another war, a war with Iran right now, please help me use your voice to let him know, don't get us in one. I don't want us in one. We don't need to be in one. This whole war should have never happened. The whole reason we're even here is because Donald Trump, in his brilliant ways, ended the Iran nuclear deal that Iran promised not to create any more nuclear material for their nuclear weapons program in 2018. In 2015, President Obama had gotten Iran to negotiate that they would not produce any more nuclear material for nuclear weapons or anything if we would lift economic sanctions. They agreed. Needless to say, Donald Trump tried to undo anything and everything President Obama had done that helped the U.S. and the world. This was a good thing that had been done, and Donald Trump goes and undoes it. So now because of that, we're here basically 7 years later. This is all thanks to Donald Trump and also thanks to Netanyahu and Israel. So use your voice, tell Donald Trump, do not get us in a war. I don't want to get us in a war. And speaking of wars, I'm going to talk about ICE and their massive overspending out of control. You think they were out all night, every night, all the time, spending money they don't have, which they've done. Let them know, no new wars for the United States, Donald Trump, period. Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and my burned out light bulbs. And how about all of y'all folks in Michigan, you know, from the Middle East that voted for Donald Trump? You see what he's done with you in Israel, right? Yep.
Escalations continue to rise in the Middle East. It is time for friends and family of active duty military to take action. Now is the time to reach out to your family members' chain of command all the way to the top at the Pentagon and tell them no war with Iran. Let them know you do not want your family member being sent to die for Israel. For 20 months, we have witnessed the genocide of the Palestinian people by the Israeli occupation. American troops, American people do not want to go to war with Iran. This is your way to ensure the safety of your family member or your friend that is active duty military to ensure they do not get deployed on behalf of Israel. Units across America have Facebook, X, and Instagram social media accounts. It is our duty as American citizens to flood the comment section and ensure that they understand, that the leadership understands that we do not want American troops to be deployed to die on behalf of Israel. This is the moment where our country must unite to protect its citizens from being dragged into a war on behalf of a genocidal country. Israel is not our ally.
All right, y'all, lean in, because this is serious. Now, according to multiple reports, Donald Trump has approved military plans to strike Iran. He just hasn't pulled the trigger yet. But don't get it twisted. He's already talking like it's a done deal, saying stuff like, I've had it, and demanding unconditional surrender from Iran like he's some damn cartoon villain stuck in the 1940s. Like, who does that? Now, legally, this ain't how it's supposed to work. The U.S. Constitution gives Congress the sole power to declare war, not one man with a MAGA hat and a temper tantrum. But here, Trump is making life and death decisions, like it's just another episode of The Apprentice, World War Edition. Now, let me tell you why this matters. Because we're talking about possible World War III scenario with nuclear weapons, civilian deaths, refugee crisis, and trillions of dollars, our tax dollars, being thrown into destruction instead of schools, healthcare, and fixing things like the hood. Israel's already bombing Iranian nuclear sites. Iran hit back with 400 missiles. Civilians are dying on both sides. And Trump, he's over here playing poker with people's lives, daring Iran to surrender like it's some damn Hollywood script. Meanwhile, people in Tehran are packing up and fleeing the city. Imagine living with that fear. This is classic gaslighting and war propaganda. Trump creates the crisis, then acts like the hero who's trying to keep the peace. That's what abusers do. They start the fire and then blame you for the smoke. And let's not ignore how this chaos works in his favor. He's already under fire for domestic failure. So what better distraction than war? It rallies up a flag-waving, MAGA-misled crowd and silences dissent by labeling critics unpatriotic. Don't fall for it. What Trump is trying to do, act without congressional approval to bomb a foreign nation, violates the War Powers Resolution of 1973. Congress is supposed to check the president's power, not sit on the sidelines while he drags us into another endless war. And let's be real, we've seen this script before. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, always in the name of freedom, always costing black and brown lives, always leaving us with more problems than we started. Trump ain't a general, he ain't a prophet, and he damn sure ain't a peacemaker. He's a showman, a wannabe strongman trying to rewrite the rules so he can play dictator without the title. And the media better stop playing soft with this man. This ain't may do it, may not. This is premeditated war talk, and lives are on the line. If Trump orders this strike, Congress must act, not later, not after the bombs drop, now. We, the people, have got to wake ourselves up and ask ourselves, are we okay with one man deciding to start a war while we're just scrolling through TikTok? Drop a comment, tag your reps, and tell Congress, check that man before he checks us all into another war.
Donald Trump just approved plans to BOMB Iran. Well,
Trump, by the way, if we're taking a look at him, he had been extremely vocal in the past, for years, by the way, before he even ran for president, about the disaster of our foreign policy in the Middle East. He specifically called out Barack Obama back in 2011 for what he deemed to be an unnecessarily looming conflict with, well, you guessed it, Iran. Take a listen.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and as sure as you're sitting there, is to start a war with Iran.
Okay, and he kept up that 4 years later, that same rhetoric during the 2015 Republican presidential election debate.
The war in Iraq was a big, fat mistake, all right? Obviously, it was a mistake. So George Bush made a mistake. We can make mistakes, but that one was a beauty. We should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East. But I want to tell you, they lied. Okay. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none. There were no weapons of mass destruction.
And I'm not kidding when I say that this was 8 weeks ago, you guys. Take a listen.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003. The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program.
And Trump has this to say about Tulsi Gabbard, who is his director of national intelligence. You can just dismiss what she says, according to Trump. Take a listen.
Mr. President, you've always said that you don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon. But how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having.
What is that, guys? You don't care what your director of national intelligence is telling you? You don't care? Because Bibi Netanyahu, called you up and said, yeah, we need a pretext for war. Like we always need a pretext for. We're constantly bombing and killing people all the time. We're committing a Holocaust in Gaza. Could you just go out there and tell them they were building a nuclear bomb? They weren't. And there's been no evidence of that outside of Bibi Netanyahu's trust me, bro. Because I guess you have to come up with something to make people hysterical to believe that we have this never-ending right to murder human beings. That's what it is. It's a carte blanche that has been handed to Israel to continually murder human beings in the Middle East, to use American soldiers to effect regime changes in the Middle East at the benefit of no one but Israel, okay?
Your good old President Trump has just approved plans to strike Iran. Yep, you heard me right. This man has already got his plans ready. He is trigger fucking happy. He said he is waiting for this. I cannot. You know what? I can believe this. This was his goal from the beginning. This man said he does not want a ceasefire. He wants it to be over. He wants full surrender from Iran. Now, the kicker is, he said he's waiting to see if Tehran is going to abandon their nuclear program. They not abandoning shit. Frumpy said earlier that, Iran and them were in the talks of a ceasefire. Iran said, you got me up. I ain't say no type of shit like that. They want our heads. And Trump is going to serve them on a silver platter. Him making it known, or people within his circle making it known that he has plans to strike Iran is going to piss them off. And whether we do it or not, I feel like Iran is going to take a hit at us now. Most definitely. I swear millennials can't live through shit peacefully. For all my MAGA lovers and all my right-wing nuts, yo daddy just said he want to go to war. He has planned strikes to take out Iran. Y'all need to go enlist. Every last one of y'all needs to go join the armed services. This is how you prove your devotion to your daddy Trump. Not storming the Capitol. Go put your body on the line for him. Go put your body in the line of fire for him. Love that man. Devote your life to him. That is how you prove you love Trump. That is how you prove you love President Trump. You go and you sign your life away to the armed services and you go and you fight. You go on the front lines of Iran and you fight. You know how the Ukrainians went back, to Ukraine to fight on the lines? That's what you need to do. In order to prove that you love your Donald Trump so bad and you love MAGA and you love right-wing people and you are for your people and your people only, you need to go fight. You need to sign up and fight for your man. Fight for your king. Fight for your Lord and Savior. I shouldn't hear not one MAGA lover say, no, I will not go sign up and fight. I shouldn't hear that. Y'all love that man so much. Go ahead and put your life down for him.
Oh, because I said I won't die for Israel. Damn, I'll tell you who else I won't. I won't die for Donald J. Trump. I won't die for Elon Musk. I won't die for...
The West started it and then pretended that it was acting in self-defense. Remember that. As the saber rattling gets louder and louder, as the rhetoric from politicians and legacy media tries to justify sending our families off to unalive and be unalived, just remember that the West started it and then pretended that it was acting in self-defense. It's the same playbook every single time. And remember that it was a Labour Prime Minister who lied about Iraq, ignored the biggest protest in British history, and now swans around pretending that he should be anywhere other than standing trial in The Hague. Keir Starmer has already held a Cobra meeting to discuss potential British involvement and, of course, is himself already complicit in Israel's actions over the past 2 years. So whatever happens next, don't let them gaslight you into thinking that Britain, the US and Israel are anything other than the aggressors. And remember that it's never those who make these decisions that end up the victims of them.
I should have made this video a long time ago when people were talking about it, but I didn't, so I'm making it now. So when Robert Kennedy made a list of all the medications he wants to get rid of, a lot of adults were worried that they were going to lose their antidepressants and their ADHD medicines or whatever makes them able to function normally. And adults may be collateral damage, but that's not who he's going after. Medications that Robert Kennedy wants to get rid of are the ones that are not allowed in the military, because before they helped Donald Trump get elected, they knew he was going to get us into multiple wars. He tried really hard in his first term to get us into multiple wars, but they had competent, qualified people in that administration who stopped him. They made sure that wouldn't happen this time. And remember, this administration says no DEI in the federal government. So when he gets us into these multiple wars, they don't want your daughters. They don't want your black sons, your Hispanic sons, your Asian sons. They want your healthy white boys. And they need your healthy white boys off their medications.
Trump will send a 31,000-pound bomb, the so-called bunker buster bomb, to drop on Iranian people, on Iranian facilities, will be a war crime. Under no circumstances will Iran surrender. As they said, what does it even mean to surrender? And that's an important question. Iran does not have a nuclear weapon. No one asserts that Iran has a nuclear weapon. It has hundreds of nuclear weapons. Iran is part of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. It allows international inspectors to come in and examine Iran's civilian nuclear energy program to assure and to guarantee that Iran is not actually building a nuclear bomb. So there is no nuclear threat to Iran, to Israel or to the U.S. That's a complete fabrication. But Israel does have hundreds of nuclear weapons. And the United States has 5,000 operational nuclear weapons. And the United States was the only country in the history of humanity that dropped an atomic bomb. And it did so on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Both of those cities were civilian areas. And instantly, when you drop nuclear bombs, it incinerated 100,000 human beings, civilians.
We are in deep shit, folks. Israel just bombed Iran. And not even 24 hours before it happened, Trump literally gets on stage and warns the Americans in the region to get the f out.
We have a lot of American people in this area, and I said, we got to tell them to get out.
Straight up gave a heads up like he knew exactly what was coming. Let's be real here, folks. If the U.S. president gave a warning before the bombs dropped, that tells you we were actually in on it. This wasn't just Israel acting alone. America was part of the move. Now Iran knows that, y'all, and they ain't just mad at Israel anymore. They are actually talking about retaliating against the U.S. too.
Somebody asked Donald Trump what he was going to do about Iran, and he says, I might do it, I might not do it. Nobody knows what I'm going to do. And I don't know about you, but that feels like a very chill and relaxed way to talk about, like, thousands of people dying. I might send thousands of Americans to their death. I might not. Nobody knows. I might unalive innocent people in the city of Tehran.
He told the people to evacuate Tehran.
Read a book on Iran, please! Iran is not a free country, especially for women! People will die. People will die, no matter what he decides to do. But it's crazy to me to hear him talking about, like, I might do it, I might not. These are people's lives in your hands! American lives! Take it seriously.
This is good versus evil. You're either a patriotic American who's going to get behind the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, or you're not.
It's unbelievable. And I would say to Senator Kaine, whose side are you on, for crying out loud?
For those of you who are young or maybe new to American politics, this is exactly how George W. Bush and the Republicans sounded before we invaded Iraq, a country that had no weapons of mass destruction, had nothing to do with 9/11. If you questioned it at all, you were labeled anti-American. You were either with us or against us. They expect blind loyalty to the Republican president, otherwise your patriotism will be questioned, even though that is not a courtesy that they would extend to a Democratic president. Using patriotism as a partisan weapon has directly led to the right-wing extremism that we see today. They can use the American flag to beat police officers because, according to them, they're the only ones who love this country. They're the only ones willing to fight for this country. Iraq cost us $2 trillion. It cost us the lives of almost 5,000 troops. It wounded like 32,000 of our troops, and it killed hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians. And for what? For what? Can someone tell me? So if you think that was fun, get a load of Iran.
because Iran is 4 times the size.
This is really bad news. A few days ago, his official stance was, no, we're not going to do this. And now, here we are, 2 days later, and it's being reported that all we're waiting on now is the official green light for the United States to go in and do the plans, the offensive strikes on Iran. Americans don't want this on the left or the right. This is one thing that people are very united on against our politicians that are putting the United States in these forever wars. Quite literally, Iraq, Syria, Libya, Afghanistan, Iran, Vietnam. I don't know what's going to happen from here. I'm, not worried, but disheartened, to say the least. Stay tuned for more.
Well, it looks like we're going to war. Trump made a statement stating that Iran needs to give up their nuclear weapons, and Iran said that they'll never surrender. And Trump basically said that leaves us no choice. What does that mean? So within the past 24 hours, they already started deploying military personnel out to the Middle East. But here's probably one of the biggest things out of everything that's kind of unfolding is the sleeper cells. All right. So the sleeper cells is basically, it's terrorist groups that are here at our home base that are ready to attack everyone here in the United States. And these attacks, they can be anywhere, schools, train stations, malls, you name it. Doesn't really matter. They're terrorist groups. All right. And most people are not prepared for that. I don't know if you guys remember, but a while back, there was a leader of a terrorist group that crossed the border. And he said, you guys don't know who I am now, but soon you will know me. All right. And the internet went crazy and they found this guy. And this guy was one of the main guys from ISIS. All right. So that just kind of goes to show you what we have here. All right. And nobody's really safe. So stay strapped, stay safe. And keep your eyes open because it's about to get crazy.
Do not think that we need to be going to war with Iran, though. If they had struck us first, that would be completely different. I don't think it's very smart at all for us to get involved in a conflict, especially with everything going on in this country, especially with the fact that Donald Trump said that if Kamala was elected, that she would have all of our children at war, and yet now he is the one who is looking like the one who's going to take all of our families into war. And I just want to remind people again that regardless of how we feel about the regime that is in control in Iran, I can assure you that the majority of Persian people also do not support the supreme leader and the current regime. They do not want to live under that type of totalitarian rule. Who does? God knows we don't. I mean, we're over here fighting for our rights right now against Donald Trump. But I digress. All I want to say is please try to remember to have some decency and remember that there are innocent families and innocent people over there who are not terrorists, who have not hurt anyone, who are just trying to live. And this, unfortunately, is what they are waking up to or going to bed to every single day. It's just a modicum of decency. That's all.
Here's today's breaking news in 2 minutes or less. Donald Trump has approved military plans to strike Iran's nuclear sites, but he has given them a chance to abandon the sites voluntarily. My favorite one, pro-Trump media figures like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens are turning on Trump. They are publicly condemning him for his engagements with Iran. Overnight, the U.S. has deployed over 30 aerial refueling tankers to the Middle East to support Israel's air presence over Iran. The U.S. State Department is evacuating diplomats from Israel, including those at the embassy, as tensions escalate. Iran's supreme leader declared today that Iran, quote, will not surrender, warning the U.S. that U.S. involvement would cause irreparable damage. Finally, in a rare monumental moment, former President Barack Obama called for broad resistance. And without naming Trump directly, he said that the United States is dangerously close to authoritarianism. This has been his strongest statement yet. This is going to be a new series from CFH Unfiltered, so don't forget to like, comment, share, follow, and I'll see you on the next one.
Go and just say this. I will vote for Donald Trump. Y'all better be ready to fight for Donald Trump if he decides to go to war with Iran. Y'all better be the first ones at the recruiting office. I don't care if it's Air Force, Army, Marines, Navy. I don't give a good goddamn. Y'all better be the first ones lined up. Bring your chunkless. Bring whatever you need to bring. Because y'all going. And I don't want to hear none of this tomfoolery about we did not vote for this. Yes, you did. Yeah. Yes, you absolutely did vote for this mess. And we told y'all every single day of last year, don't do it. And y'all voted to have abuelo, tío, mío, and mía. Everybody sent the hell up out of here. And y'all better be ready to fight for them. Because we black people, we definitely not doing that. No, sir, we bop it. Y'all voted for this nonsense. We gave y'all an open book test, and y'all chose otherwise. So since you decided to vote for Donald Trump, you better be ready to fight for Donald Trump.
Everybody, especially the MAGA nuts, are all against being woke until this time. Yeah, because even the MAGA nuts, there's a lot of them that are questioning this decision. And in case you didn't know, why mama, why dad? Your sons and your daughters are the ones that are going to be deployed because, first of all, Trump himself was saying that he doesn't want black people in the military anymore. I pray so. I pray so. So that our people are not taken out there to be used as shields and experiments for the drama that these people could have avoided, should have, but they decided not to avoid it. So, your baby boys, your baby girls, your husband, and let's not forget, guys, I don't know, was it last year when they were trying to recruit every person that turns 18 in the US? They knew all along what they were up to. They have been planning for this for decades. And I understand that Americans are speaking to Trump and they're telling him, do not take us to this. But the corporations and the businesses and the government in America is not run by Trump. It's Netanyahu. It's not propaganda. If you know, you know. So, yeah, I spoke about being woke in the beginning of the video. And I said a lot of people hate being woke until now. I hope you see how people are literally out of the deep slumber. They are not into that mode where they used to be woken up and be like, yes, we are going to war because these are our enemies. Americans are saying, no, these people are not our enemies. These people have not attacked us. These people have not done nothing to us. Why do we have to fight other people's wars? Why do we have to be involved? Why our money? Oh, let's not forget, is the economy of the US really doing good? It's not because Americans are cowards. It's because they are tired of being involved in wars that enrich billionaires and millionaires and these leaders. They're tired. It's their money that suffers. It's the taxpayers' money that suffers. It's their people that die, right? And then this guy has the nerves of telling Iran, you know, you have to take it back. Yeah, you have to surrender. They never attacked in the first place. Israel did. You know, this sucks. You know why? Because this drags the whole world into this drama. We who knew and those that never knew about it. It's the tiny people that suffer. Why are you all so thirsty to ally yourself with the devil? And because, is he asking for blood right now? And you want to make sure that... Huh? What for? I can't believe this man, the same man that said a few things, I think, like, was it like 2020? Right? And right now, he's a different person. And these are the talking points he was using during his campaign. If you vote Biden, if you vote Kamala, she's gonna take you back. She's gonna take you to World War III is waiting. I know a lot of MAGAs are in disbelief. They can't believe this. That's why a lot of people are believing that this man is so much tied to so many events that are going to happen in the end times. Contrary to the popular belief, to those that believe he's a good guy, man, deception. People that voted this man, the deception that you fell for. This is the message of Americans, and this is how they feel about this whole thing. But don't forget that everybody that will speak against him doing this, he will be labeled as a terrorist. I think a lot of Americans have also come to the knowledge that every lie that was told to them about all the countries they invaded, yeah, those were never the bad guys. America has always been the bad guy. At least for us here, we know. We know. So, we don't even need to be educated on it. We are waking up, we've woken up to know that America has never been the good guy. Not simply because America is not good, but because America has a cartel of people that runs it. Whatever we are seeing on the surface is not what America is. There's just so much. But dude is taking you guys to war, and World War III, that is supposed to be something huge. I understand that Iran also has a lot, because a lot of people are like, you know, Iran can't do nothing. If you think they are going to do anything to us, then you're so wrong. Iran has allies too. But at the end of the day, who suffers? We don't have to be talking about, you know, allies and who is going to win this and all of that. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is who is going to suffer the more, right? Who? It's the normal people that have not done anything wrong. Man, it is so hard, but hey. That was the video. You have seen the responses that Americans have. I want you guys to let me know what you think as well. I pray so bad that my people don't get involved. And I know they're like, oh, they're Americans and all of that, but they don't need to be dying for causes like this. You know, you don't have to be fighting on behalf of a country that don't like you anyway, right? Let me know what you think in the comment section. I think like the video, share it, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in another amazing video. I think those were my opinions, and until then, my name is Gracie. I love all of you. Stay safe out there. These are the days, the last days, to be honest. So keep your spiritual antennas up. Until then, bye.